So thank you all so much for joining us today for Ask the Trainer, just kind of doing a roundtable discussion with some certified personal trainers at the fitness facilities from our Oklahoma City campus at the Health Science Center, as well as Norman campus. So thank you guys for joining us. From Sarkeys Fitness Center on the Norman campus, we have Melinda Williams from there. Thank you so much, certified personal trainer. And then from our Oklahoma City campus at the University Health Club, we have Brian Phillips and Sean Ogle. So thank you guys so much. I will let you guys, if Sean, if you want to give a little extra background, you know, maybe any specialties that you have, how long you've been personal training, any of that good stuff.
Yeah, so I have a very thorough athletic background. So I've been an athlete basically since high school, college, playing soccer. So I played at Rose State College and then actually transferred to OU and played for OU's club team, which was a lot of fun, very competitive team. I graduated in 2015 with my bachelor's degree in health and exercise science. So I actually got to know Melinda a little bit. And then after I graduated, I worked for Rose State as a recruiter and in the residence director position at their apartments on campus. And while I was doing that, I was also working for the Rose State soccer team as a goalkeeper coach. After I did that, I decided I wanted to go back for my master's degree. So I was told about a graduate assistantship that was about intramural sports on this campus, which is the Health Sciences Center campus. So I did the intramurals for that long, for about 2 years until I got my master's degree, and I met Kelly and Brian through the intramurals, and we hit it off, and I really loved the campus, and I love the facility and everything like that, and the people around here. So I was interested in a job after I graduated. So talked to Brian and Kelly, and now I've been here for about 5 years now. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Brian, how about you? What's a little bit about you, some of your background with personal training, any specialties that you might have?
Sure. Yeah, I started here at what was called the Center for Healthy Living in 2006, and I've been here ever since through all of the changes to university. All of the facility changes that we've had, renovations, the departments come and go, and it's been really exciting to see everything that's changed. Personally, I have my bachelor's degree from UCO. As you know, Lindsay, we went to the same program in exercise science, and then I've got my master's degree from UCO as well in exercise science as well. And I've been here ever since. I think I've been in almost every role here at the University Health Club. I started as an intern, and I was a fitness associate. I got to teach really early water aerobics, which is hard to do. I've taught boot camp classes, spin classes. I've got to do extra fun things like wacky games. And then what we did yesterday on the library was really fun, getting to talk to everybody about our facility and our passion for exercise. I've done personal training for a really long time, and something really cool that we've just started is through some of the guidance of the National Exercise is Medicine program through the American College of Sports Medicine. We've started our own exercise is medicine program, and we're excited for doctors and healthcare specialists to refer their patients to us so that we can guide them on their path. So thank you, Lindsay, for that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and Melinda, how about you? I think you've probably had your hand in a little bit of everything as well.
Yes, you are correct. So my name is Melinda Williams, and I am the Assistant Director for Fitness and Recreation at the Norman campus. I oversee the Sarkeys Fitness Center, and I've been in the fitness industry for about 25 years. I'm an adjunct instructor in the Health and Exercise Science Department, which is where I also received my bachelor's and master's degree. long enough ago that it was called the Health and Sports Sciences program, and with an emphasis in health promotion. And I've been everything from personal training to facility management, teaching group fitness classes, have certifications in through American College of Sports Medicine as a exercise physiologist, National Strength and Conditioning Association certified personal trainer, certified group exercise instructor, yoga instructor, and national board certified health and wellness coach. So opportunities there for me to experience working with a wide variety of individuals in a wide variety of ways, whether it's mentoring and educating individuals who are interested in being in the field, to assisting those individuals with special population who are considered, having some of those special needs. My favorite group of people to work with are those who are just getting started, who are really trying to find their way and their fitness journey, and their inner athlete is my absolute favorite, just to be creative in that way. And I oversee the personal training program here at the Sarkeys Fitness Center. We have 10 or 11, I think we have now 11 personal trainers on staff that have lots of different specialties, everything from first year students all the way up to those of us that are a little more seasoned, that are all nationally accredited certified personal trainers. So lots of individuals here that can assist with meeting your needs.
Excellent, thank you. So Melinda, how much, if someone wanted to get started with personal training, how much is it at Starkey's? I know a lot of times it can be expensive, that can be a deterrent. How much can someone expect to pay for personal training if they went to Starkey's on the Norman campus?
That's a great question. So our personal training service is $30 per session, $30 plus tax per session. We want to keep it affordable. We understand that it can be such a great benefit, and that it can also be something that is more difficult to do on a regular basis because it is quite costly. So we try to keep our costs below what that normal range is. We also offer small group training. So anything from a group of 2 individuals up to 5 that can agree to train together, and then they get a reduced rate for their per session fee. So it $30 is for an individual person, and then it's $20 if 2 people are training together. And then it's $15 if it's 3, and $10 if it's 4 or 5 people training at the same time with 1 personal trainer.
Awesome. And then Brian, how much can people expect to pay at the University Health Club for if they decide to use a personal trainer?
Yes, we have like 5 different packages, I think. The first is 1 personal training session for $25. And the more sessions you purchase, basically the less each session will cost. And our personal training is not just used for how to do weightlifting or anything like that. It's, Sean knows, he's done a handful of beginning swimmers this summer, but it's basically very flexible. It's very client oriented. What a person needs and what their goals are is what we try to work on. So it's not a set cookie cutter workout plan. Everything is very, very modified to the person.
Fantastic. And so Sean, then why would I even need to use a personal trainer? I think we've, Brian touched on a few ideas of possible uses of personal trainer that maybe some of us didn't think of, but do I really need a personal trainer? What are the benefits of utilizing a personal trainer, and how would you be able to help me?
So a lot of clients that we see really have never been in the weight room. So they have no experience even how to do machines correctly, how to set up correctly. Some have no idea, even the general idea of how to get onto a cardio machine or set the difficulty or the height of the incline. So things like that are just bare minimum things. We have clients that are like that. We also have clients that are experienced in the weight room a little bit, and they just want to have someone just check out their form because they're a little self-conscious, or maybe they've had problems pulling different muscles or tweaking something or something like that. And so you need to have that set of eyes. Unless you have a mirror all the way around you, you're not going to be able to see all the angles. So that is a benefit for you. Also, being able to manually stretch people. So I know some of you understand the importance of manual manipulation and being able to stretch certain areas of your body with not being able to do it on your own. So that's another big reason. So there's a big variety of different things that people can come in for. So our job is to try to be as adaptable as possible and try to help those people maintain those goals and get to where they need to be.
Fantastic. And we had a great question just get dropped in the chat from Lindsay. And Melinda, I'll go ahead and let you weigh on this. So what is the difference between free weights and machine weights? Is there a difference? Should I usually, be using one over the other? Is one better than the other? So what's really the difference between using free weights and machine weights, Melinda?
That's a great question. So a machine weight is going to be a weight, a machine that has usually a pin where you're going to select the weight that you use. It's usually on what's called a fixed axis. And so it really controls the way that you're able to move. This is a great place for someone to start whenever they're beginning their strength training journey so that they can understand how it should feel. It puts them in a safer, once they're able to understand how to set the machine up properly for their body, put them in a spot that's going to be safer and to really start to develop their knowledge and their experience. And then when you look at free weights, you're thinking about things that are going to not be on a fixed axis. So it might be a barbell, it might be a dumbbell, it might be a kettlebell. It's something that you're able to do free motion with it, and it requires you to have your arms or your legs moving individually, and more control is required. So it's a great step up. They can complement each other. So just because somebody has less experience does not mean that free weights are not the right thing for them. And just because somebody is very experienced does not mean that a machine cannot be a great part of their designed program. So, but there are some benefits to it, especially when you think about the safety, much more, it's set up for greater success with the machines for those individuals who are just starting out.
Fantastic, thank you. And another wonderful question dropped in from Tiffany. Any suggestions for a woman who is expecting and wanting to build muscle? What should I stay away from in the gym? And I think that is a fantastic question. And I'm going to open it up to the floor if whoever wants to weigh in, or if you all want to weigh in. I was one that continued with my strength training. I did CrossFit. I used to coach CrossFit, and I continued to do CrossFit while I was pregnant, all the way up to like a week or two before I gave birth. So it is possible, and you just modify. So I'll let the experts here weigh in a bit more with this question.
I'll go first. So yes, Lindsay, I love you sharing your story about continuing to strength train throughout your pregnancy. If someone is new to exercise and they learn that they're pregnant, there are some opportunities for exercise and physical activity there. First, I would always say speak with your physician before you start or when you're continuing your exercise program. Once you learn that you're pregnant, and what you should be focusing on or what your abilities are going to change over time during that pregnancy as your body changes, as your center of gravity changes, as your blood supply needs change, so on and so forth. But it can be great for helping you to prepare for both going through your full pregnancy as well as with delivery, working on strengthening your abdominal muscles, strengthening your back, your upper body, the legs. There is a lot of great benefit there, and making adjustments as you go along, because your body's going to change in terms of your center of gravity. The laxity of your joints and your tendons and ligaments is going to change over time, as well as your body prepares for pregnancy. So I'll start there and let somebody else jump in, because I know Brian was getting ready to say something too.
Yeah, I think you've started it off really well, Melinda. And one of the usual guidelines is, if you're already exercising, you shouldn't have to change very much. The only things that you would obviously need to change are things that might include like throwing a medicine ball. You wouldn't want any type of blunt force possibilities happening. And deeper into the pregnancy, you really shouldn't do anything on your back, because that could, press on your baby, could press on vital things that don't need to be pressed on, and could cause some medical issues. But in general, if you're just starting out, just like Melinda said, also, I know the question is wanting to build muscle, but don't forget about, Melinda touched on a little bit, balance and also some flexibility, because as your body changes, you're going to gain weight, things are going to get sore. So it's important to kind of remember flexibility, stretches that'll help kind of relieve some of the tension from different areas that you may be having.
Yeah. So, and another thing that Brian kind of touched on is, so as you progress, so really it's a big deal of progression and regression. So understanding your limits, and like Melinda said, consulting your physician is very important. Like Brian touched on though, making sure that your impact, any type of impact that you're doing, is absolutely a no-no. So like as you start to get later into your stages, no more agility ladders, no more jump ropes, no jumping jacks, that type of thing. We don't want any stress on that baby whatsoever. We want to make sure that that baby's healthy when it comes time, definitely.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I think absolutely 100% talking to your healthcare provider, even if you're, find out you're pregnant and you want to continue on, or even if you're getting started with utilizing and you're not pregnant and you're just someone who's looking to get physically active, always great to have that conversation, an ongoing conversation with your physician, just so if there's anything that you need to keep in mind regarding your overall medical health. Let's see here. Another one that's been dropped in, let's see, I've lost about 70 pounds in the past few years, primarily through diet and general activity. I've seen my waist size go down, but belly size stay the same mostly. I've been getting back to the gym, but can improve. Is there any training that might focus this? I've also read there isn't any concrete way to target, and for many people, those stubborn areas are often the last to go. So Sean, do you want to go ahead and weigh in on this one?
So yeah, absolutely. So really that has a lot to do with your body type, your genetics, because really whenever you lose your weight, whenever you start to really burn those calories, it's up to your genetics and the way that your body is built to where you lose your weight. So like, for example, so if a really stubborn area of the body for men is the gut area. So like the beer gut, quote unquote. So basically what that is the way that some men's bodies are built. That's where they store all of their fat. And so when they start to burn calories, they don't burn it there in their stomach. They start burning it on their outer extremities. That's why men kind of have bigger, broader shoulders. They have their big biceps and that type of thing. Now there are men that can get fat areas in that type of area. For ladies, it's more so for like the hips and the thigh area. It's kind of a hard target area for a lot of people. And so it's really up to the genetics of it all. So you really kind of just try to cut through your calories as best as you can, and try to keep accountable as best you can, and try to get to that point and get to your goal weight really, and just keep on chugging from there.
Absolutely. Melinda, do you want to weigh in or anything? Or Brian, I saw maybe I'll let you go next. So Melinda, if you want to weigh in, and then Brian can follow up as well.
Jacob, congratulations on that. That is
Yes.
so
absolutely.
incredible. And I love hearing that it's been over the past several years, because I'm a firm believer. I know that we all are. A slow and steady wins the race. Working on gradual changes to our lifestyle in order to see slow changes, so that it's not just an upheaval and it's something that can be sustained for the rest of our life. That's exactly what we're looking for here. And so in addition to what Sean said, I wish that we could target certain areas, and it is, frustrating that we're not able to say like, oh, I want to get rid of my gut, so this is what I need to do. But I would say that evaluate what you're currently doing too. And if you've been doing the same type of activity for a while, it might just be that your body has hit a little bit of a plateau. And so changing your exercise program in some way can sometimes kickstart some of those changes to happen. The same with your nutrition, making sure that you're getting enough food, and that the quality and the type of food is supporting those goals that you have with your body change too. And I also think that for anyone who is looking at and changing for fat loss, making those types of changes, strength training, I think, is the secret weapon. Cardio is really great, but the strength training to develop that muscle sometimes can be a great secret weapon that can help our body to kickstart as well and allow those shifts to happen.
Said it really well, Melinda. Yeah, first of all, I was going to say the same thing. Congratulations, Jacob. That is amazing. And keep on doing what you're doing, because it looks like it's working. So, but for those trouble areas, again, like Melinda said, switch up your routine, keep reevaluating your nutritional habits. If you speak to a dietitian, you might mention this same thing if they have any ideas about caloric intake for you. Or we're really great at caloric expenditure, but as far as intake, I don't know about Melinda, but I'm not a dietitian, but I can give general guidelines on food habits and things like that. But when it comes to specific things, not so much. But yeah, and again, Melinda said everything I was going to say, I think. Weight training is great because muscle burns calories. And if you have more muscle, then you will burn more calories. In addition to your cardio or aerobic exercise. But again, 70 pounds is amazing. You've done a world of service for your body in the long run. So keep it up.
Excellent. Yes, absolutely. And speaking of nutrition, like you said, we're not registered dietitians here, so that's important to note as well. I'm glad that our friend Fran weighed in too, in here in the chats. She mentioned that carbs that are high fiber, proper lean proteins, and healthy fats with plenty of color from plant foods are great. So Fran can weigh in. She is a registered dietitian from our OU Food Services office down the Norman campus. So she is a great resource. She put her email there, franos@ou.edu. So please reach out to her, open for faculty, staff, students to utilize her as a resource. So an important thing to keep in mind, absolutely, when you're utilizing a personal trainer or going through a weight management journey, fitness journey, health journey, it may take a team, your physician, personal trainer, registered dietitian, and then try to how to work all those together for your good support and team to really see through to help you with your goals. So yes, I think you guys already touched on it too. I was going to ask, well, then what nutritional advice can you guys give as personal trainers, or whenever, if we do utilize a personal trainer, what should we be mindful of? What is okay for personal trainers to give as far as nutritional advice, and what is kind of like a little bit out of their realm, or most definitely out of their realm? Melinda, I'll let you go ahead and weigh in.
So as a personal trainer, even someone myself who has a specialty certification as a nutrition coach, general information is what we can provide. If you have a personal trainer that is giving you an eating plan, doing those types of things, unless they are also a registered dietitian, they're going beyond their scope of practice. Same with recommending supplements. That is definitely out of our scope of practice. We can definitely talk about, all of the general advice or information that is out there for somebody who is a healthy individual. And especially if you have some special needs, talking to a dietitian is what is the best route to go for your health and for your safety.
Perfect. Thank you. And so now to kind of switch gears a little bit, me as a female that has played sports, has stayed active in a variety of ways throughout her life, and I have worked on the personal training side, been out of it a few years, but something that I often hear, and I think maybe you guys can probably relate, is with women, a lot of times we're afraid of getting too bulky. So strength training, I think a lot of times females tend to stay away from or weary of because they don't want to get bulky, so they just don't lift the weights. Sean, what advice do you have for women whenever you hear something like that? Because I'm sure you have. How do you work around that, or what advice do you give?
So in our profession, in the strength and conditioning world, there's actually some different phases that we go through that you can lift in. So you have like what's called hypertrophy phase, which is basically muscle growth. You have your muscle endurance phase. You can work on muscle strength, like just general strength. You can work on maintenance and that type of thing. So each of those phases comes with a different set and rep scheme. So basically, like if you're not trying to bulk up, as long as you're really not trying to lift in the hypertrophy phase, then you're not going to do that type of bulking. So if you wanted to do more of like an endurance phase, so you're lifting with less weight and more higher reps, then that's kind of something that you might be more interested in if you're trying to stay away from getting bigger as an individual.
Fantastic. And Melinda, from the female point of view with a personal training background, how do you respond to that?
I agree with what Sean said. Oftentimes, and for anyone starting a new exercise program, starting in that muscular endurance development phase is a great place to start. So women's bodies don't develop testosterone the same levels that men do. And so therefore our ability, even if we are lifting heavier, our ability to build muscle the same way that you might see a man develop responding to strength training, it's going to be different. And so that fear of bulking up, even if we do lift heavier, because I do like some heavy lifts as well, it is not going to affect us in the same way. We are going to develop muscle. We are going to develop shape. We are going to get stronger. It is going to help us with our everyday lives, but we will not necessarily most of us are not going to see that same type of response with our body because of the hormones that we have in different levels versus a man. Also, a man's skeletal frame is different. And so their leverage and their ability to train is going to be different than what it is for a woman. And then also things such as looking at our nerve innervation when it comes, I'm being a super nerd right now, but our cross nerve innervation and our ability for our muscles to contract is different than it is for a man. So our responses are going to be a little different, and the results are going to be a little bit slower. Consistency always wins the race though. And that is really, there is such evidence out there about how beneficial strength training is for women, for helping us with aging, with activities of daily living, with weight loss, with all the things that we're wanting to accomplish. Strength training is, once again, that secret weapon. It is that secret weapon, and it just feels good too. So.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. And to kind of wind us down, so sometimes for some of us, using a fitness facility is just not really an option. Maybe it's just financially not really an option, time-wise, maybe just how time management and what have you, very difficult to actually get somewhere, or maybe where we live, just location-wise, it's just not something that's a really available option. So Brian, what would you recommend to someone? What could they do if they didn't have a fitness facility to utilize to really start with their fitness regimen and keep going? Are there things they could do at home or without equipment?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. At home, most people have internet or a TV. And, one thing I know that Amy does down on the OU campus is that she does a yoga class online. So there's any number of different yoga videos or strength videos that you can watch and follow along. If you got to get out of the house though, check into some of our city or state parks, because a lot of them have built some exercise playgrounds. And whenever I go out there, I don't see a whole lot of people. So if you're a little bit self-conscious, there's not that many people around. And if they are, then they're paying attention to feeding the birds or walking their dog or something. But, other things that you can do at home, like if you're brushing your teeth, I've had clients tell me that they brush their teeth and they stand on one leg so that they can work on their balance. And that's just something that people come up with on their own. And it's amazing to do those things. There's also any types of, the bed, usually your bed is a perfect height for you to do a lot of stretches on. So you see stretching tables and things that are a little bit higher than a normal table at fitness centers, health clubs. You can use your bed kind of the same way. Yeah, there's any number of floor exercises that you can look up, what have you. Yeah.
Even using the stuff
Some
around,
ideas.
some stuff around the house. Maybe you have like some extra cans of corn and you want to use that for a little extra resistance. You got your kiddo, I've got a 3.5-year-old, and he gives a nice little extra 30 to 35 pounds extra of like, an awkward carry of like a medicine ball walking around because he always likes to be carried. So that's, being creative with things. And Melinda dropped in the chat a link there, some extra resources that are free to you guys, some Fitness Anywhere videos. Melinda, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Sure. During the pandemic, we did some Facebook Live classes that we recorded and then put on our website. So that is going to include the gentle yoga classes that Brian just mentioned that our director, Dr. Amy Davenport, did. It has some high intensity interval programs and kickboxing that I did. We also have some stretching in there, some strength training. There are some other things like some healthy recipes that we did. And I also did one that's exactly what Lindsay was talking about. That's what can you use around your house for strength training? So I just lined up a whole bunch of things that I pulled out of my house, out of my garage. You get to see my sweet doggy Charlie in the video as well. But that is just to spark your interest and spark your ideas about how you might be able to get creative at your own home. Even a chair, just using a chair to help you with different things can be a great option just to incorporate exercise without coming to the gym.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much. I think we covered a lot of great stuff. Again, if you're a benefits eligible employee, right there, I dropped in the chat. You can click on that link to enter to win a pair of football tickets to this Saturday's football game. So don't forget to do that. Really appreciate you guys. Send a follow-up with the link for this recording. So if anyone wants to share with your coworkers, want to refer back to it, really appreciate you guys. And also just how to get connected with our campus fitness facilities and maybe other resources that they have available and how to get started. So thank you guys again. I hope you can join us for additional Wellness Week activities that we still have going on today and tomorrow, and really appreciate everyone. Have a great day.